Howdy, y'all. Well, I uploaded a video about explaining the light ships, and my audio disappeared. Ah, um. So I guess I'll have to re-explain this. I just wish that you guys saw the diagram that I had from scratch, because this is kind of hard to read. I guess I have to explain it from the beginning. Oh man. Well, let me see if I can try to do this right now because it's kind of key that people understand what is actually going on. So you have the densities. This is from the first time I made, the first video that I made a couple days ago. The densities of 12. There's no 10 because 0 doesn't exist when you have densities, right? So 1 would be infinite of itself. So between 11 and 9 is just infinity. Anyways, so here are your densities. Think of 2 and 1 as hell. So we're going to block those out. So therefore we have 3 and up. Think of 12G as the holy, the holy of holies. 11 is gateway. 9 is clairvoyant. This is where you have the beings that are clairvoyant presences that may are interstellar through the densities of 12 and 9, if that makes any sense. Or maybe through source, there's a realm above. A source below, you have lower dimensional beings, but there's still light, angelic, etc., etc. Below the density of 7, which is light, speed of light, whatnot, you have the prism. Prism being the central sun, 5D being the one circle that we see in the sky. Excuse me. 4 would be the in-between. So what we cannot see or paranormal activity, whatnot, astral projection. 3 would be our mineral level, mineral creation level, the carbon, right? So if I were to send a light ship to 3D, how is that possible? So in theory, or not in theory, or what was explained to me in my dream, rather, you have a presence from a 12-dimensional density, or 12, yes. So the frequency being that high, let's say it has its way, it makes its way through a gateway, and it makes itself known through these clairvoyant presences. So like, let's say there's these clairvoyant entities, orbs, angelic presences, light bodies, whatnot. So what they do is they carry this frequency from a gateway, a stargate, from the Holy Land, from the originator, from Prime Creator, from God. And what they do is they go to Source. Going through Source at the speed of light, penetrating through the central sun reflecting itself outward into what we look at as our sun number 1, which is not the central sun. The light that reflects off of this is the light of the world, but it's not the light of in the universe. It's not the central light. So central light is above the 6th density, just to clarify. So like, let's say now that this clairvoyant presences have made them way through the speed of light, penetrating through, excuse me, what we see as our sun here in the sky. Sorry, there's so many people messaging me at the same time. So let's say if you were to slingshot a light force through our sun, what comes out is going to come out in the 5 density. Okay, and it hangs out at the top of the firmament of Earth as a matter with plasma. So these matters with plasma on top of the firmament, they're causing a shadow effect on top of what we see as the cloaked clouds that we see on the earth. So it may not actually be like an object is inside, but it is in fact something is on the top of the firmament causing a reflection. So they are there. We just have to look at everything from a contact lens perspective. Hey, I think I explained it all. So when we go into lower densities, how do these get into the firmament? Plasma, and definitely UV, gamma, infrared, a lot of translucent energies. So it does have to take energies from the internal as well. So you have beings working from the internal and the hollow, and you have those working from the external. So this is how you go from a translucent to a solid, maybe to a liquid when it gets fourth dimensional, and then into a matter of a solid mineral construct when it starts to penetrate through the firmament. When it's in third density, that's when we say, oh, goodness, like it looks like a metal ship. But we already know that's not true. The actual construct of the ships if they're not of the light, then that's not ours. That's not from us. So example, if we said that if a ship came from Draco, it's going to be at a lower frequency. It's going to probably be at 4 or 5 density. So it won't have that much plasma. If there's that much plasma, it won't have that much light. Easier to spot when it's cloaked, when it's hiding. If it's a higher density than 7, this is what you guys saw in my and recent videos of mine that I posted. You see little tiny white dots, and they just kind of are in their own little journey, own little path, little white dots. That's when you know that it's of the 7th density and higher. When it's of the greater scale, that's when we see those large shapes that we cannot even explain, but the plasma is so massive. So I'm hoping that this will explain a lot to everybody about how it's possible to know and interpret and see these things that are beyond. I'm going to go back another time and go through these, try to be more illustrated with this. But I apologize because I uploaded a whole video and it was so great, but this was a duplicate. So I remember what I said exactly. So nice try, those who tried to mute me. Anyways, you guys have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.